dream I had made it this far.
So who am I here with today?
Chancellor Young, class of '04, O'Day, Fighting Irish.
And what are you doing now for work?
I am currently a special education teacher for Maple Elementary School and boys head track coach over at Highline High School.
So how did your experience at O'Day help you prepare for what you are doing today?
Over at O'Day, when we were doing, trying to remember exactly the class, but we would, when we're doing our volunteering, we would work over with Child Haven. We would go over there. We spend some times over with young children, just kind of being able to, whatever they needed over in the classroom, just kind of being able to help out. Sometimes just being, a fun big kid to be able to play with, being able to help out, get our hands in there. Um, just being able to work over with kids and being able to give back. It was always something that O'Day was always encouraging us to be able to do. Just being a person of service. And my time over at O'Day allowed me to get a little bit of time with that. And it was something that I was already kind of doing. I'd always done that with my family. I always had older siblings, their friends, and being able to go around them, just being able to get that family, that camaraderie, and it was just something that was natural and just kind of being able to pass down, including many who had graduated in the classes of 91, 92, 93, around my brother. I was that. They didn't have the little Irish program when I was there, but it was like that. We were just running around over on the field. Everybody, all the older brothers were over there, supporting us, telling us, "Hey, it's going to be you next," and letting us be over in the huddle, be right there with them. And so, as I got older, it became something I continued, and so that's what brought me to where I am today.
So was there any teachers or coaches that helped you during O'Day and to help what you are today?
There were many that helped me when I was at O'Day. Um, each and every person that I was able to um, be able to work with had a different impact over with me. But I will say, for me personally, the biggest impact that I had was Coach Andy Slatt. He was a track coach and counselor over at O'Day. Many a times when things were very frustrating, very difficult on me, while I was there at O'Day, Coach Slatt was always had that office just to be able to talk, whether it be about the direct problem I had or just something to be able to take my mind off of things. And I also remember when I played in my state championship game my senior year. I got hurt and pretty much did not know what was going on. Coach Slack, he had come back. He had just come back from a tour of duty, and he had come by to comfort me, and that helped me to be able to, you know, put my mind at ease and allowed me to be able to get what I need. But there were so many people that helped me while I was at O'Day. Um, you know, Coach Kohler, Coach Crotty, um, Luke Dacey, who is not teaching there anymore. Um, Heck, some of the guys who I went to school with, who are now part of the staff. Um, they all have big impacts over with me in my life. It's that brotherhood of continuing to be able to be, supportive and being helpful to be able to lift you up.
Are you still in any contact with any of those coaches today?
I still come by and I'm able to see Coach Kohler, Coach Crotty, come by to visit them like every now and again for football games, stopping by the school, might be able to say hi when I can. Um, I'm able to be able to chop it up with Dean McGee every now and again. I've known him since I like him and I were in like fourth, fifth grade since we were kids. He's definitely making doing some great work over there with the kids over at O'Day. Plenty of stories that could be shared. Some of this, uh, probably wait till you guys graduate. But no, he's always been a good, strong-hearted person. So definitely been able to keep in touch with some of those coaches and individuals. Have not been able to keep in touch with Coach Slat after he moved away. Somebody I would definitely love to be able to, just be able to chat up and see how he's doing. But yeah, get a chance to talk every now and again, getting back over with some of those coaches.
So being at O'Day is like all about the brotherhood.
Mhm.
So how was the O'Day's brotherhood shape you as a person?
It shaped, well, O'Day Brotherhood was something that I knew I wanted to be in since I was in like third grade. My brother was there. They took home this first state football title. I was able to be the ball boy for when they did the back to back before this one y'all just did, that first back to back title. Um, and just being able to see exactly what it was and how it looked, what the success looked like from both ends of being able to see, the success, the grind, the sacrifice that the young men were going through. And I remember, as was coming up, one of my closest friends growing up and another former O'Day brother, Kai Brown, and I, we told each other, hey, we're gonna go to O'Day, we're gonna go win state, and we're gonna be able to do that. And that was the start of that brotherhood, for me. When I got to O'Day, um, you know, you get hit with a little bit of the stuff that, I was like, now y'all don't have to worry about it as much, where like freshmen not being able to play, and it's like, I'm not used to that. That's not something that I ever really experienced. Um, in a different time, different climate, I probably would have been able to play as a freshman, at least at some point, as far as football goes. But with that being said, that brotherhood, that connection of being on that freshman football team, of being able to be right there and really getting to know the guys who were in my class and really being able to see. So by the time as we grew, you know, when we became seniors, and it's like we knew each other so well, being able to go over to, friends' houses that you probably wouldn't normally have connected with in outside of atmospheres. Just the different ways that we all kind of, in the things that we enjoyed, the things that we, kind of gravitated towards. But because we had that connection of who we were as individuals, as people, as young men growing up, it's like, no, we connect on that, and it opened us up to being able to, hey, let me try, let me look over and, like, hey, see how other people live and see how other people are doing, and just being able to understand, and even the things that weren't for you and whatnot, being able to say, no, I can look at somebody who is very different, but I can see the character of you, I can see the strength of you, and we can find that common ground and that strength, because those are my brothers and whatnot. And a lot of the friends that I connect with now, either I met through O'Day Brothers, are O'Day Brothers. Just there's always seems like there's an O'Day connection somewhere.
So before going to O'Day or going into O'Day, did you learn anything new that you haven't even like thought of, like any values that you've learned at O'Day that you still use during your career now?
Well, for me, I had like the values that O'Day were bringing to the table and continue to bring to the table, were something that I already had instilled in me from home and family. That was part of the reason why O'Day was the place for me. It was a reflection of my values, the family, like the values that my family valued, largely just being able to have, you know, that faith, being able to have that overall support, being strong and persevering through adversity. and being of service to people. Those were some of the big values that I got, um, that I understood were going to be part of O'Day, and were the things that that made me want to continue to be at O'Day, to be able to go over there. And those are the values that I try to be able to carry forward, to this day.
So going to an all boys school, it is like harder than it is different than most other schools because we are just surrounded by just our brothers and just not really girls. So what I'm trying to say is, what do you think that your perspective on life or like your career now would have changed if you went to a co-ed school? Like if you were like more around, say, just girls in general, do you think that it would have been different for your career now?
Uh, what I will say is any choice or deviation from what you did before will always lead to something different. Whether or not I'd be in the same positions, like a profession, whatnot, I'd be a very different person. If I chose to not wear, the right type of shoes, I might walk a little different. So with that being said, I think the heart of what is going um, is that O'Day, yes, it is very different in the sense that we had all boys, and we did not have girls over at our school. For me, um, that would have, like, for me and a lot of young men, probably would have presented a different challenge. And just like anything else, whether good or bad, it would have presented a different challenge, because you're adding a new element to it. You're adding, a you know women are different, young ladies are different, as they are coming up, their struggles are different, and whether or not you are getting their perspective on the day to day, or the thoughts of trying to, I don't know, and trying to be able to impress, trying to be able to show out a little bit more. I was blessed in the sense that I could still be like, I was still regularly getting the female perspective, because I grew up in a household with three sisters. I had my mother in the house. I was always, just outside of any activity outside of football, or if I was doing something outside of O'Day, most of my other activities, I did cross paths with young ladies and women, and so you're still being able to talk, being able to have those perspectives and understandings. Where the way I looked at it for O'Day was that during the times that I really did not want to be doing, or being able to get up that really, really hard part of the day, of going to school, being exhausted, being tired, trying to be able to figure out, well, what am I going to wear for the day? A lot of the things that would have required extra thought were eliminated out of. I did not have, like, I don't know if how y'all doing it now, but I'm pretty sure, like, the wardrobe choices, kind of get limited. It's like, you know what, I'm
Yeah.
only gonna wear, hey, I got my three good pairs of pants. I got my good shirt. I keep a clean shirts on me, and that's about it. If I repeat, like, hey, like on Monday, I'm wearing the same thing that I do every Monday. I mean, it's just what it is. I didn't have to worry about necessarily trying to be able to impress anybody. I didn't have to, you know, for me, I didn't have to worry about, like, hey, I want to go try to be able to go talk to them right now during class, or have to worry about, hey, if I talk to her right now, your friend, like the friend sitting right over there, and trying to be able to worry about that. I got a chance to be able to focus on the things that were going to be more difficult for when it comes to the academics, and really just trying to be able to make sure I had that good solid foundation. So when I got out into the world, I could be able to learn how to be able to balance it, because I would know how to be able to just focus on the tough, so that way I could be able to enjoy what life had in store for me.
Do you think that Ode was able to help you grow in leadership and responsibility?
Yeah, I would say so. At O'Day, I was given opportunities to demonstrate leadership even before being given official positions of leadership. When like during my time there, I I was two-time captain for track, one-time captain for football, and even before that, there's always ways to be able to lead, and being able to decide that just because I haven't been given a title doesn't mean that I'm not a leader. Um, and those who are prepared to lead, um, they will have their opportunities to be able to do that. At O'Day, just being able to, hey, who's brave enough to be able to step up when things are difficult, when a decision needs to be able, when you need to make a decision, like, hey, we're gonna go do this is what's gonna happen, hey, let's get going, hey, I want to be able to, I'm gonna do this, be able to lead a project, be able to lead my position group. They're like, hey, we have some time away from the coaches, but we want to be able to get ourselves better. Hey, I'm going to be doing this. Hey, you want to be able to come along, bringing your brothers along with you. O'Day provided the opportunity, partly because you had, you know, a lot of young men who you can be able to find who had a similar path or a similar thought process of what they wanted to be able to get out of something. You also had plenty of friends who may not have known what that path was, but sometimes being able to be around people who want to be able to do positive help bring you along to be able to do something more. And so those were opportunities for some of the opportunities for leadership that I had while I was at O'Day.
So on this final question here, what advice would you give current O'Day students who want to be more successful after graduation?
While you're there, make as many connections as you can. Get to know as many people within the school as you can, because whether it be the quiet person, the person who might have some different interest in you, um, whether it be you being like a super athlete and you are coming across somebody who's more musically or theatrically you know designed, you know being able to connect with people. Do not be afraid to be able to do that, because one, it will help you be more well-rounded and be able to understand people a lot better. And if you can understand people, you can be able to have a conversation with people. And if you can have a conversation with people, you can be able to help fill the gaps in understanding by talking directly to people, being able to hear from them and get their understanding. Will you always agree? Absolutely not. Even best friends and family will never agree on everything. But if you can be able to have a civil discourse and be able to understand people, look at where they're coming from, understand and look at what they know, what they value, what they respect, then you can be able to have the conversations and connections that's going to help you be, successful, but an overall better person. Um, don't be afraid to try something new, something that might be slightly out of your comfort zone. I remember my junior year, I was in the school musical. Nobody expected it, and when it happened, everybody was like, "Why are you doing it? What's going on over here?" And even I didn't really want to be able to do that. I went in there, going back to your other question, like the girls from Holy Names had been coming by, and like I had a few friends I wanted to be able to talk to, and thankfully my mom had wanted to go stay at work and needed to finish some of work a little bit longer, and she didn't give me the out that I was desperately trying to get her to do, and I ended up auditioning, and I was a part of the school play, and it was a great experience. It was something new. I was able to use my hard working ability in a different way, scratching some different ditches and being able to strengthen other muscles, stuff that I had not been able to. realize that I could be able to do. So don't be afraid to try something a little outside of your comfort zone. You know, it's a great O'Day is a great place to be able to give you that little bit of that support as you're able to do it. And if it turns out it's not something that is really for you, you learned like how to be able to take on a challenge early versus when you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, however it goes along, and you don't want to be living a life where you are too afraid to be able to live and be able to experience things that you may just be able to thrive at or just be able to have a great time with. So take on a challenge. Take it on.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Young, and thank you for your time.
You're very welcome, Max.
I can't believe I made it this far.